Good evening and welcome to Rockfeed. Thanks so much for joining us. If you're new here, please subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss out on breaking news and updates about your favorite bands and support videos just like this one. Former Slipknot percussionist Chris Fehn has asked for his suit against the members of the band to be dismissed permanently. Now, what does that mean? We're going to get to that in just a moment. But first, let's dive in a little bit to the history of this case. Now, we've been following this case closely for over a year now, and we've even had Chris Fehn's attorney on the show, and he summarized the case for us and gave us a little bit of background on it. Here's a little bit of that from last year.
After the band had experienced success, that they began to treat Chris like less than that equal. And we looked at that and we said, well, that doesn't seem fair. Based on the facts as we understood them, that he was began as an equal partner in the band in the beginning, he should continue to be treated in that same fashion.
This was a very complicated case, but to summarize it as simply as possible, it came down to the fact that Chris Fehn felt like he wasn't being kept in the loop about the band's finances and business dealings, and he wanted to know more. Ultimately, Slipknot decided to kick him out of the band, for lack of a better term. At the time, they released a statement which read as follows. The statement read at the time, Slipknot's focus is on making album number 6 and our upcoming shows around the world our best ever. Chris knows why he's no longer a part of Slipknot. We are disappointed that he chose to point fingers and manufacture claims rather than doing what was necessary to be a part of Slipknot. We would have preferred to not have taken the path that he has, but evolution in all things is a part of life. Long live the knot. And then a report from Slipknot's local paper, the Des Moines Register, wrote, Christopher Fehn argues he should be fully compensated for his work with the award-winning metal band in Des Moines over 2 decades ago. And Fehn trusted the fidelity and integrity of Taylor and Crane to operate the band for its members' mutual benefit, according to the suit. While he earned a share of profits, Fehn claimed to have no knowledge of a number of Slipknot-related businesses. Naturally, after the suit was filed, Fehn stayed mostly quiet on social media, except for an interesting comment that he shared on his Instagram in October of last year, where he pointed out that he hopes to rejoin Slipknot someday. Now, it remains to be seen whether or not this case being dismissed will have anything to do with his membership status in the band. That is very difficult to figure out. Fehn shared a picture on Instagram with his son and wrote, "Sorry for the delays in my post. I think you can all understand. New life, dad, loving it." And a user wrote, "Please go back to Slipknot," and Fehn simply responded saying, "Someday." And now we have the most important development since this case was filed. Fehn himself, again, has asked for the case to be dismissed, which will certainly be granted. And they asked for it to be dismissed with prejudice, which means the case can't be brought back later. There's a few things that we don't know about this, and I'll get to that after I show you this document, and then we'll talk about what this could mean. There's a number of things this could mean right now, and I have reached out to Fehn's attorney to try and learn more, and we will let you know as soon as we hear back. The document was filed on Thursday of last week by Fehn's attorney, Mr. Joseph Dunn, and it says, "Notice of voluntary discontinuance. Plaintiff Chris Fehn, by and through his undersigned counsel and pursuant to New York Code, hereby affirms that the above entitled action be and the same is hereby discontinued as against all defendants with prejudice and without cost to any party, and this notice may be filed with the clerk of the court without further notice, respectfully submitted by his attorney." So this brings up a myriad of different questions. Number one, what is the status of Chris Fehn's relationship with his former bandmates in Slipknot? Sometimes band members get into legal entanglements and they're actually able to work it out. Was this a settlement? We don't know that yet. Was Chris Fehn just decided that he's tired of this case and wanted to remove it from the court system? That too is also possible, but I don't think it's probable because we knew that this had gone to mediation a couple of months ago. So, could Chris Fehn return to Slipknot? It's possible, but I would doubt that this was going to happen. The reason I say that is not that Chris Fehn isn't a perfectly capable musician ready to play in the band, but I think when you sue your bandmates, they're probably not willing to bring you back necessarily. I think what is possible, and again, I want to say that I don't know this, it is possible that Fehn reached an out-of-court settlement with the members in exchange for leaving this case behind and pulling it out of the court. Almost all cases that are filed in civil court like this are resolved in this way. This is a very standard way to resolve a case like this. It's how it's usually done. I don't think we'll ever know what the terms of any deal, if there was one, are. But again, it is very interesting to think about all the possibilities that could be happening here and whether or not this means that his status with the band has changed. Remember, a lot of you guys are probably thinking I'm crazy here. In the past, they actually contested Fehn's legal team whether or not he was still actually a member of the band. They refuted claims that he was out of the group to begin with. So it makes you wonder whether or not that was resolved too. That's wild speculation. I don't want anyone to get their hopes up, but we just don't know enough at this time yet about what this settlement deal would entail. Again, I'll let you guys know if we hear anything back. And as always, if you like these kind of videos, please consider subscribing with notifications on so you don't miss out on breaking news about your favorite bands. And it's the best way to support the channel. Anyways, thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you all very soon.